I guess we're gonna start off this episode a little differently. I've been going through some personal battles and working through some emotions and stuff that's kind of been attached to me, I guess, through my childhood and stuff I feel I need to overcome. And I just feel like maybe speaking on those things will help me maybe overcome that and also keep me accountable because like these are my thoughts in my head of what I want to be. So I felt like I need to write them down. I need to say them out loud. And I write in this too. Like it's hard to share sometimes your deep emotions with others, but you're bound to come stronger out of that no matter what. So
Well, let's hear it, man. I'm excited to hear it. I think there's real power in being vulnerable and using that.
Yeah.
Using that. I think we built. That's what this platform's about, and I'm excited to hear it. Appreciate you being vulnerable, man.
Yeah, man. Definitely. It's a hard one. I've been reading it to myself every morning, kind of just to try to remind myself who I want to be and what I want to do it for. So
I like it.
Here we go, man. Dear Brevin, you have the choice each day to become the man you want to be. No one can make that change for you except your daily actions. I know you aren't happy right now with yourself, and you're full of fear, pain, anxiety, and depression. When will it be enough? Aren't you tired of hurting and not feeling comfortable in your own skin? Each day you wake up, remind yourself of the man you want to be, so through your day you can check yourself to make sure each decision you make is supporting that action. You deserve to treat yourself like a king. It is okay to fail. If you're failing, at least you're trying, and that's a step forward. Think back. You aren't the same kid you used to be, and you don't need to be the man you were yesterday. You have the choice to be better. Are you staying true to what you preach? Rise, grind, repeat. You need to change for you and not anyone else. No one is perfect, which is why life is a daily battle to be your best self. Direction is way more important than the speed. Try not to question yourself, but question your actions. Being honest with yourself isn't easy, and to share that with others is even harder. But by attacking that fear and conquering it, it's bound to make you stronger. I love you, Brevin. You make life worth living. That fucking...
Thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah, man.
Love, for real. I picked up Russ quote in there. I really like that.
Oh, yeah.
Direction, more important than the speed.
Yeah, man. I just felt like writing this, like, the first time I read it to myself, man, it was like the first time ever I felt like I fucking loved myself. That last part, like, I make life worth living for myself, man. And that stuck deep with me. Like, just reading I Love You, Brevin, from, like, that other perspective. Like, it's like I've wanted to tell myself this in my head, but, like, have never, like, really said it out loud,
Yeah, bro.
And, like, I would always run through my head of that stuff, but it's hard, man. I said it's hard. All this shit is hard as fuck. Like, it's not easy.
Yeah. Not even a little bit.
And I really do think, like, sharing this will, like, keep me accountable toward, saying right here, are you practicing what you preach? When I said it in there, rise, grind, repeat.
Yep.
Our why behind that is to work hard every day and follow your passions and dreams despite anyone's judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And that means if you're, despite anyone's judgment, you're only doing it for yourself. So I felt for a while I wasn't true to that. And, like, this was the first time, I felt that motivation within me I wasn't motivated by anyone or anything, you know. It wasn't like I was chasing. Sometimes people are motivated by money, material things, people, you know, and this was the first time, like, reading this every morning, I feel motivated by myself.
To be yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, and I mean, even that post you did of the FaceTime to yourself when we were reading it yesterday, man, you had me almost breaking down again. In that last part, you said your biggest asset in life looks you in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't that the truth, though, brother?
Yeah, you had me faded off of that.
Yeah, man. I feel that you brought, this isn't what's crazy. Like, yeah, you're specific. What you're going through personally is you, but for you to bring this to light, knowing that most people, battle with a lot of these things, and even just showing too how, just writing something down, it's a kind of a form of a daily affirmation, in a way.
For real.
With the with the twist, it's not. But talking to yourself, the self-talk, well, that's what that post was about too.
Yeah.
This is exactly what that is, and reading it out loud, like you said, this is, well, now it's out now. Everybody,
Yeah.
Having that accountability piece.
Yeah.
And it's not like, some days it's not like, this is a magical thing. That no, this is a daily practice, the daily grind, if you will. And not every day is going to be good. And it is good to have that accountability, but it's also good to know that you're not, everybody goes through these things.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I felt with it, man. Like, even our last episode, like, I really just wanted to get into, like, true inspiration and, and changing a stigma and changing the way we think, which is sometimes just, like, so not open. We don't think openly. A lot of us think closed-minded in our heads. So, like, I really think by just trying to be more vulnerable and open about my emotions, my passions, my dreams, my goals. Like, even in this, I say, I'm not happy where I'm at right now with my, like, physical or with my body image, but I'm doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
taking the action.
Like, I'm not down on myself right now about it. Like, yeah, I want to change, and I said it, and I was down on myself every day before I started getting in the gym because I wasn't doing anything to support what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost just distracting myself with outside stuff,
and we were kind of getting into that this morning.
Yeah.
Cooking about just that ability to be able to, we're humans. Like, we have imagination. Nobody else, like, there's another animal that has that. Like, we can we can decide who we are and how we act on a second to second basis.
Yeah.
And, reading that out loud, probably one of the best ways I could think of to start your day, first of all.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously even hard right there, man.
And
it's hard. And that's what I guess we can't.
But in this world, everybody just runs away from that. And you're reading that every morning. And that's the deep work that you can't get fulfillment without going through these things and learning about yourself and being self-aware.
Yeah.
I feel personally like, as far as a fulfilled life, and having that emotional intelligence and that leniency that you need to just, shit's out of our control. Like, that's just how it is. Not everything's in our control. We can control a lot.
Definitely.
There's a lot we can manipulate. But when shit happens that we can't control, that's when having these experiences and knowing these feelings and working through them, not running away from them,
Yeah.
comes in as a strength. And you could say, I've been here before. I've already analyzed this. Or as simple as, I know that when this happens, or this person says this, or I know that triggers me, or it could be anything, literally.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, I've already felt more self-aware through writing this because,
Mhm.
I did have to think, I had to think back, like, why do I have these feelings? Why do I feel this way? Or also just to express, like, this is how I feel, and
It's
having
like,
to write that on paper and then saying it out loud, like,
and I honestly love how you said, "Dear Brevin." It puts
oh,
you.
yeah,
What it does is, I feel like it puts you out of yourself. When you look at yourself without using your own eyes, if that makes sense, to
no,
try and
100%. Yeah.
grasp. I
I
know
mean,
that kind of sounds,
I think subconsciously that was what I was doing.
and literally, I mean, I guess you could say it's like taking a step back, if you will. And when you can analyze those little things, like, I I mean, for me, on a personal level, perspective and perception and the way you see things saved my life.
Yeah.
And so if you can, like I was saying, analyze yourself without your own eyes, or
Without your own bias,
right, and
even.
step
Yeah.
back and actually say, like, oh wow, this is deep rooted. This is way deep rooted.
Oh, yeah. A
You know,
lot of the stuff, man. I mean, roots back to me growing up as a kid,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
Like, I kind of dealt with, like, separation issues when I was younger. Like, I didn't like to go sleep over at a homie's house until I
yeah,
was, like, 10.
yeah,
I liked to be at my house. I've always been a mama's boy. I think a
yeah.
lot of people are, man.
Mm-hmm. Shout
Like,
out moms everywhere.
yeah, shout out all the moms. But really, like, I've always felt that attachment, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's something I've been trying to work on through, this is about me. It's about myself.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better time to work on it, because this is the work that nobody sees, that I believe draws that fulfillment, or better understanding,
Yeah.
or being able to cope. Like, we're not taught to cope with I feel like our parents' generation is like bootstrapped, like there's no, and now we have we have the worst mental health crisis ever in history.
Yeah.
And it's no, like, we're not learned to, even subconsciously, like, as we grow up, it's like our parent, it's even like, we're just not taught to work through our feelings, or be with our feelings, because we're
Yeah.
going to feel them. We're taught from day one to distract ourselves. If your kid's sad, I don't have kids, but like, if
Your homie's sad.
a homie, yeah, if somebody's sad, or your kid, you have a little girl and she's sad, well, what if I buy her an ice cream cone? Maybe she'll, boom. That's distraction from day one.
Yeah.
And then just, like, built over time. Like, that's what we learn, like, as a young, and it's not like, I'm not saying it, but that's how deep rooted it is. And I feel like that's part, like, those are the little things that add up to a generation of mental health
Yeah.
crisis.
I mean, I've felt that now, I guess, for years. I felt I use a lot of things as distraction from what I had going on and my true emotions. Like, I would fill it with another void, whether it would be hanging out with friends, sports,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, consumption of marijuana, even, like, a bunch of things I felt I use as a distraction. And I was over consuming things, like, even with social media, to get my mind off things. I could just scroll on
Oh
there for
yeah.
days. Like, even with TikTok, people are like, oh, I got lost on TikTok for hours.
Literally, that just
know?
ties into kind of what I was saying, because what do we do at night? Because I mean, nowadays nobody just sits down with their thoughts. That's unheard of. We don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
No wonder we don't. We need these skills and we need to work through these emotions. But it's like when you go to bed at night and you lay down and you start thinking and you're like, oh, I got to turn my brain off, or I need to go to bed. Like, let me do this mindless scroll, like,
Yeah.
and then a whole different other story with social media, and then you see everything and everybody, and it's like you never just sit with your own thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary.
I mean, 100%. I mean, I feel like I've always been an overthinker.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times I am in my thoughts, and I think that's why I've been trying to practice like this different notion of writing it down, saying it out loud, and not just keeping it in my head. And it like, I've been telling you all day, man, like I'm just overthinking about everything,
Yeah.
And part of it, like, it's good and bad, but I've just been trying to verbalize it instead of staying in my head, like, and just not telling
just going into
anything.
a stare void and, oh, sorry, man, zoned out.
Sorry, man, my
I
bad.
was just in my head,
Exactly.
literally.
I used to just be someone who's like, oh, sorry, man, my bad, I zoned out.
Yeah.
No, I was just overthinking, creating anxiety, like, and it's a lot easier just to, not easier, I mean, it's different for everyone too, so it's hard for me to say it's easier, but it's easier for me. I've started to learn to verbalize it and say it out loud.
I'd say that's a pretty fair generalization of, I mean, we live in a society of distraction, and nobody, like I said, man, nobody takes the time to do this work, which is why nobody, not nobody, but which is why we're in, I feel like, the position we're in as a society. And I don't mean to take your, your personal things and blow it up like that, but that's just from an, like a macro standpoint, I guess. It's like nobody.
I mean, yeah, I'm only one person who feels like this, and I guarantee there's thousands, maybe probably millions.
Yeah, man.
Feel
and I mean,
some sort of this way too.
It's kind of a weird, I guess, timeline for me with like my personal development, and when I really got into like, oh, word,
yeah,
like there's this kind of world.
Yeah.
And after, it was probably after we lost Brad and Chris last year that I really got serious about, this is a problem, like it.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I
and
I feel you, man.
And that's why I picked up that book, like the End to Mental Illness.
Yeah.
And which is a different kind of, like, it's more of a different, it's more, he looks at, Dr. Daniel Amen looked at not mental health but brain health.
Yeah.
He says that like brain science, like we're the only, like psychiatry, it's the only like profession that doesn't look at the organ. There's like you go to a cardiologist for your heart,
they check your heart.
Right. It's
if you
different.
break your ankle, they do an MRI.
You go to a GI doctor, they look at your stomach and your,
yeah.
It's it's all very split up, but the body's one system, and he's saying, he's going that route with it. But he was a psychiatrist too, and so he did all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's kind of when I got into that, and really, I mean, not that I didn't take it seriously before, but that's when I really started taking it seriously, when I had to go to 2 of my classmates' funerals in 1 year, in very short period of time.
Yeah.
And then these are good people. And
it was, yeah, dude, even for me, like, I know you had definitely a deeper connection with Brad, but 2 weeks before everything happened with him, like he had been posting on RGR and posting to our story, tagging us of his art and his drawing, and he'd be like, "Oh, I love this, man." Like, yeah, we didn't talk all the time, but I'd hit him up like, "Hope all is well," and like and I never got anything. that he would like
and that's,
do what he did.
fortunately, it's how it is. But
yeah,
I only bring them up because that was a very personal. I feel like really close and really personal thing to us.
yeah,
And like
our whole community almost.
looking back
sure.
on that now, and that's why I, I don't know what the right word would be, commend or amend. I don't know. I am proud that this is something that just a small tool, in the toolbox of like going through these emotions, and like, we don't know where they were at in their head, but there's, I feel, change and something we can do about it.
Yeah.
By doing this, by being vulnerable, is what I'm saying. I'm thank you for sharing that. That's why I'm saying, like, we all go through such hard things, and nobody has a clue, and it all connects. Like we always say, everything's connected, but it's everything from like everything, literally.
Yeah.
Whether it's your health, or because I need now I have that, I understand that side of it, to where it's like, okay, like brain health is pretty serious.
Yeah.
Nobody, like, we don't, psychiatrists don't look at the brain.
Yeah, I've been for real waiting to talk to my therapist about that, and I kind of wanted to get his input.
Yeah,
like,
man. Well, he seems like a very conventional, from what you've told me, a very conventional therapist, and I think you said that he does what works, like, for you.
Oh yeah, he's
type deal.
His whole slogan on his website is like, if you're looking, not a slogan, but like in his description, he goes like, if you're looking for for someone who's just gonna ask you how does that make you feel, he's like, I'll help you find someone who's better fit for you.
For sure.
But he's like, from my practice, like, his slogan is do what works.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and I guess
he's already helped me find some things that work for progressing, but once we find something that does work, so we're gonna run with that.
Right. Yeah, and I guess my thought too, and my biggest, I don't know, that book really changed my entire, because it generally, because I'm not discrediting good therapy, like, sounds like a good therapist.
Yeah, yeah.
Like somebody that has maybe been there and done that, like a good person.
He'll text me on a weekend, how you doing, bud?
Nice.
Like,
but yeah, I'm not discrediting like a good people, good doctors or therapists that are out there, but like, for the most part, it's just a drug-filled like society. It's a whole, like, the healthcare,
all of it.
But like specifically, it's just like, oh, I have ADD. Like every kid I know and knew had Adderall prescription, and that just blew me away. Like,
even
I don't know, like stuff, stuff like that. Where
even I did, man. I went to a psychiatrist, and they were the ones who diagnosed me with it, and I started taking the Adderall, and I was like, this isn't me.
Yeah,
like,
that is
this is
such
altering me to think how society and how people have studied to think what is best for me,
Yeah.
And then also, like, I took like a Lexapro.
Mm-hmm.
I took that before. It's like a antidepressant, I'm pretty sure. Made me feel worse.
Oh yeah.
Made me feel worse. I
yeah,
took
that's
it
why,
for,
I don't know. I got like this stance on it that I'm like, because they don't look at your brain, and then when you could fix these things with lifestyle changes, changing your diet, going to working out, not even going to the gym, just being active. It's like, and we have all these. I don't know. It goes pretty deep, but I don't know. I forgot where I was going with that exactly.
So you're just talking about this is the brain health, and how probably like psychiatrists, when they diagnose someone, what is it called? The panel they go, like, they diagnose you over.
It's just symptom clusters.
Like symptom clusters.
I think it's called the DSM-4. It's like the
standard,
It is.
We're all different though. That's why I was like,
see, and that's why
I'm just getting categorized in, oh, you feel this way, feel that way. So what has worked for others is this. We're all different, man.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't want to name drop either, but and I really got like
Yeah, we don't have to name drop.
a bias, like opinion after somebody let's just kind of like somebody I know and love very well, and she was diagnosed with depression from, I don't even know if it was a psychiatrist. I don't know the actual details, but it's like, it was like she went in once and got a prescription for Xanax, and I was like, I know this person very well. Like, I'm just thinking in my head, like, no, there's probably like, it just blows me after looking through this. I'm thinking like, oh, there's low magnesium, like this is, and literally all this stuff. Like I say that like kind of funny, but no, it's all really serious. Like,
yeah.
And so I'm thinking like, there's no way, like, depression. Oh, Dr. Hyman said this in the book I'm reading now. He said, depression isn't a Prozac deficiency. So it's like depression isn't an antidepressant deficiency. Like that covers symptoms. Most of the time.
Okay.
It's a symptom cover. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it doesn't help or makes people worse.
Exactly.
You literally see like commercials for that. Like, add this
if you experience this and that.
Yeah.
And then there's like 20 side effects.
Well, it's literally, it'll be like,
like
it'll be an additive. It's not even like an actual, like, if you add this to the antidepressant you're already taking, like, we guarantee, like, it's like, but thoughts of suicide may occur. What? Like, and that's why I really started looking into the health piece of it.
Yeah.
It's like that. I just feel like there's so much more that could be done without the drug. I'm not saying drugs don't have but it's not that is a doctor's tool. That's a blessing that we have, that we've come so far. But now it's just like candy. Even like when you're back, like, wait, it's been like that. It's like but yeah, man, that's I think that's why we're here, why we're doing this right now.
Yeah.
And I think the
biggest thing for me was what really opened me up to being vulnerable was reading that Simon Sinek. I've been reading that Simon Sinek book, Start With Why. And,
that's a slapper.
And I kind of more analyzed it from a business perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I can also
he kind of has a business. I feel like with that book, he kind of has a business feel to it.
Yeah.
But that's life.
I was starting to think like, why did I start Rise, Grind, Repeat? and then he talks about it. He's like, is what you're doing right now still supporting why you started what you started? And I was kind of like, I don't think it fully is.
But what's the best part? Your why changes.
Yeah, I mean it does. But they helped me like
awesome,
reanalyze like, why did I start this? And why did I want to build a community and like reach out to you and others, like, because I wanted to inspire.
And I think that's another underrated, just silly, that's a huge takeaway from this whole podcast, is the amount that you could get just by reading, like, personal development, or, picking up a book. I said it a couple months back, your next page could be your next breakthrough.
Yeah.
That's held pretty heavy. I feel like pretty strongly about that after, going down that path and reading and educating, and because you're almost, when you open a book, you're opening yourself to a new perspective. And having that's
big.
Having that, I mean, what more can you ask for? Like, if it's not working your way, well, you gotta look somewhere else. You gotta do, you have to open your mind.
Yeah.
And that's just something I feel too, that, maybe if you go to a psychiatrist or something, it's not working, and they prescribe you drugs and it's not working. It's like, that's just a small way to kind of plant the seed in your head of there's another way.
Yeah.
Or if that your health is bad and your diet's bad, that it could maybe be contributing to the way you feel in your head emotionally,
That's kind of where I've been.
Right. And and that's part of the reason. But but that's just overall, like everybody knows that. Work out and that's good for you. It's good, healthy, and the foods, eat the right foods, and I think it all definitely plays a part. But would you just hit on there? And by the way, that's a very good book. I'd recommend that to anybody I ever knew. Start with Why by Simon Sinek.
Yeah,
that's a very, very good read.
It's a great read right now, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being vulnerable, man. And I know it's just me and you in the room, but this is going out to the community, and I feel like it means a lot.
Yeah, I can't really say much more. I literally just want to inspire.
Amen to that, brother.
Like I feel fulfilled by that.
Mm-hmm.
By inspiring others, like that's what I get fulfillment out of.
Yep.
And and this is just me focusing on myself so that I can better inspire and fulfill that want I need.
Yeah, man.
And I think everyone has a fulfillment,
Oh, yeah.
And once I could kind of break that down and be aware of it, I kind of knew, okay, this is my why, and now how am I going to do this? And I started to think, I need to eat better. I need to be in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I need to practice verbalizing what I say, writing in a journal, seeing a therapist, and actively seeking the help. I'm not just going and this is what he has to say, this is what he has to say. Like, I'm literally like, yo, like, you just taught me so much about, like, damn, this is why I think this way. Like,
yeah,
that
like
is
once your mind's open, it's like game over, kind of.
I'm like, yo, tell me more, please.
Yeah,
literally. It's almost like, damn, like, time is irrelevant.
Literally.
When I'm in there, dude. Time is irrelevant.
Yeah, man.
Like, it seems like we talked for 10 minutes, and he's like, yo, man, I gotta cut you off. I got another patient coming in.
Yeah.
We already went 5 minutes over.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, my bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's just that. Again, that's just the power of, that new, fresh, just something new. New, I know I could say new perspective or new outlook, but it's like, you do what you always do and you're going to get what you always get. And, for some people, there isn't that switch. And I hope that maybe us talking on this episode maybe does flip a switch for somebody to where, they do want to be the best thems. That's what we're here to be.
I mean, yeah, man. I literally wrote here, like, you have a choice each day to become, I can say instead of the man, but you have a choice each day to become the person you want to be.
Mm.
No one can make that change for you except your daily action.
Sure.
Like,
that's,
that's
pretty much the meaning of Rise, Grind, Repeat.
Yeah. Not even right. Like, don't you want to be better?
Man. I think it's really powerful being vulnerable because, my bad.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah, no, I hope this hits somebody, one person.
Yeah, anyone. I truly hope.
I think we could.
This helps, man.
I hope this helps you too a little bit.
Yeah.
To be vulnerable and share and maybe talk through it a little bit with me, even if it's just me and you on the pot.
Yeah.
I feel like it's good, and I don't know. I've been on that. Our brain, man, is. Without your brain, you don't have you don't have mental health. I feel like it's just everything's connected, and
we got to do something with that, man. Everything is connected.
Yeah, well, let's wrap up this podcast and brainstorm that. No, we
sounds pretty good to me, man.
We appreciate you guys hopping on for another episode. Like we were saying, we're gonna be on our shit and frequent, and so here we are, another episode, another week. I think this is the new plan, so expect an episode every week.
Yeah. Every Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll be posting.
Cool.
Want to log off again with this, man. Inspire endless action.
Yes, sir. Cool. Crossed over handshake for the camera. There we go. Inspire endless action. We'll leave it
Whether
at that.
that's in yourself or within others, man. Inspire endless action.
Amen. Well, we'll leave the community with that, and I'd say, as always, stay grinding.
Stay grinding.